This is Coogan Cassis for IFL TV. We're at the MGM Grand here in the media room. With me, so many people you look like. It is Matt Christie from the boxing from EastEnders. That's your best lookalike, I reckon.
Yeah.
Jake Wood.
Yeah. Branning.
Yeah, his name's Max Branning, but his real name's Jake Wood. But,
yeah, I've heard that one. Yeah.
Who else have you heard?
I've heard the Mitchell brothers, but I'm not quite stocky enough.
You're a cross between Grant and Phil, actually. If they had a child, it would probably be you.
That's a really pleasant thought. I like that.
Fight week.
Yep.
My Mayweather fight week's always hectic and manic. Did you want to see the rematch, personally?
I'm looking forward to it more now than I was when it was announced. I think we've heard a lot that the fans demanded it. I do think if they were to make a list of potential opponents of Floyd Mayweather, Marcus Maidana would have been a bit further down the list than the top. But you know, you can see why they've done it, and I think it is an interesting fight. Mayweather's had a few out of the ring distractions. Maidana is pumped. Floyd Mayweather's 37. There's suggestions that his legs have gone, so it is an interesting fight.
Is it impossible to predict at this stage who possibly could be his last two opponents? Because before Maidana beat Broner, you would never have predicted that Floyd's two fights for the year 2014 would be back-to-back fights with Maidana. He put himself in the running with a win over Broner, so I suppose we have to wait for circumstances and see what fights are made and who comes out on top to put themselves basically in the running to fight Floyd next year.
It is. I mean, the fact I was thinking this today at the weigh-in, that who would have thought that Marcus Maidana would be fighting Floyd Mayweather not once but twice. But he earned the first shot certainly by beating Broner. So yeah, who he's going to fight next, I don't know. Floyd made that remark, didn't he, when he announced this fight, and then it's going to be something big in May. Whether or not he has already got some kind of plan about who he's going to fight in May, I think a lot of people would still like to see the Manny Pacquiao fight. Bob Arum himself said, yeah, you know, there's the potential of two fights next year with Manny Pacquiao. But yeah, I mean, who knows? Amir Khan is the other one, and the other one that stands out is Miguel Cotto, potentially to see Mayweather win a belt at middleweight.
A big win for Keith Thurman could put him in the mix? Could
do, yeah. I mean, I would like to see a young guy get a chance. Before the Kell Brook fight, I would have liked Sean Porter to have had a shot at Floyd Mayweather. But you know, I think they would have issues with Keith Thurman, and absolutely no disrespect to him, but I think at the moment he's not a big enough name, and I think they may have some issues in selling that fight.
Explain a little bit about what the week's like for you to represent Boxing News. Obviously, Trish normally comes down for a Mayweather fight. This is your first time covering a Mayweather fight?
Yes, the first time for Mayweather. It's my first time in Vegas. Been in Vegas a few times, but yeah, it's my first Floyd Mayweather fight. Yeah, no, I was delighted to get the chance. Floyd Mayweather. I mean, let's start off with Floyd Mayweather. Is certainly the most famous boxer of my generation. Perhaps he's one of the best of my generation as well. To get the chance to fly out to Las Vegas, to be ringside at that fight, to report on that fight, is, you know, still kind of pinch yourself in the arm stuff, you know. It's but the week itself is it's busier than people might think. I mean, for example, today I was in the media centre around 9:30, and now what time is it? About half eight yeah. At night, and there's a constant stream of people coming in. You've got during the week you've got press conferences that are arranged, but also you're keeping your eye out for different fighters, different people that are actually coming into the media centre, and you're trying to get interviews with them. We had the weigh-in today, which was, I think in total would have been about 2 hours, best part of 2 hours. Then you're having to write that up. We've got the website, which we're constantly updating. So although it's thoroughly enjoyable, I am absolutely knackered.
I think everyone is. If you're doing your job right, whoever it is, you should be knackered. If you're, do you know what I mean, up and fresh and ready, and that you're being a lazy fucker basically. But it's weird because it's a different environment to what we have at home, in the fact of a normal week would, like for a big fight, would consist of media workouts, a final press conference of Wayne, but all in different places. Here, everything, you come here for the start of fight week, which is usually on a Tuesday for the grand arrivals, and then basically you don't have to leave the MGM Grand if you're covering that event, because everything's here.
And to be fair, that's a journalist's dream, it's the media's dream, and that's obviously why they set it up, in that everything comes to you rather than you going off to find these things. I've covered events in New York, and it's a lot harder to get the content. You have to go out and find it, you have to set a lot of things up. We do that to an extent here as well, but what you've got here is kind of everything kind of, you know, on your doorstep, as it were.
Absolutely. Alright, well listen, good to catch up with you. I thought we'd interviewed you before.
No, I've been snubbed. So thanks for doing that.
So really, I mean, we've done obviously Trish, we've done Denon's been on a couple of times.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah. Oh. Now, we're only really left from the ones I know at Boxing News is the big Flex.
Execution.
To make his debut. I mean, I don't know, he might think he's too big for this, I don't know.
You have to speak to him about that.
He might not.
He's worth a shot. Give it a bash.
I'd like to talk to Flex actually. He's very opinionated. Is Danny? So yeah, I think
he's the next one. He's the next one.
He's the only one, isn't he? Who else?
Paul Wheeler.
Oh, okay, Paul Wheeler. I've never met Paul. I don't think.
Lovely guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely guy.
Yeah, I know Paul is, but I've never met him. So interesting. What about the cleaner at Boxing News? Is he or she available?
They probably are. They're normally there about 7 p.m. And if you got a tea in your mug, they'll just come and take it off you. If you've got some water there that he's clearly still drinking, they'll just take it off you.
Would Flex get the ump if I interviewed the cleaner before him?
No, because I think you need to get to the bottom of why they're taking their drinks off.
Oh, right, yeah, it's a burning issue.
Yeah.
All right.
That'll be a ratings winner.
Alright, well listen, Matt Christie, thanks for talking to IFL TV. Like I said, it's all done now really. We've got the Boxing Expo tomorrow, which is just like the best way to explain it, if you know what a Seni is in England, which is centred around UFC and MMA, it's kind of like that, but for boxing. That's the best way I can explain that.
It's supposed to be like about 30 ex-champions there. These kind of things sometimes don't quite work out that way, but it'll be interesting. I was looking forward to seeing Terry Norris.
Is that your pick for tomorrow, Terry Norris?
I really want to interview Terry Norris.
Okay. Alright, and then obviously tomorrow's fight night, and then home time, back to the domestic scene next week.
Yeah.
Alright, this is Kugan Cassius with Matt Christie from the Boxing News for IFL TV. Thank you very much.